What Made These Holes in My Guest House? By Tim Slinks. There is a problem. It actually might be a couple problems, or a whole mess of problems, all layered on top of each other and smashed together. I bought a house last year. It's my first house. It's awesome and fun, and I feel like a real for true adult now. In addition to the main house, there is also a guest house. Here it is. The main house is in pretty good shape, but the guest house is rough. It's full of black mold and spiders, and I think squirrels live in the loft. I'm not in any rush to fix it up. I don't go in there. Oftentimes, my father will remind me that it can be made into a very livable space. Very livable, of course, by him. When we're not having that awkward conversation, I forget that it exists. Maybe once a month I'll be leaving for work and I'll notice the wind had blown the door open. So I'll walk by, cringe my way around the spider webs, poke my head in to make sure a raccoon isn't chilling in there, and slam the door shut. The problem I have is that 2 days ago when I looked inside I saw this. A hole in the wall. I did not put it in there. I don't know what made it. I had other things on my mind at the time. I was a bit hungover. I was a bit anxious about a meeting I had at work, so I didn't think too much of it. Eventually my headache faded. My meeting went okay, and when I got home I had forgotten about the hole. But the next morning, yesterday, the door was open again. I took this video in an attempt to catch the creature that was doing this. So that's real for true creepy, right? It looks like someone was breaking in, cutting these holes in my wall, and trying to steal this bottle. But I pulled the bottle out of the wall without much effort. If someone was after it, if someone really wanted it, they could have easily taken it. And I don't know why they were so meticulous with the holes. They could just saw it up or take a sledge to it. So that's why I'm thinking it's not a person doing this. I think it's an animal, and I think it's drawn to the liquid in the bottle and boring these holes to get to it. This is the bottle. I think the animal is drawn to this liquid in this bottle because the liquid smells amazing. Whatever it is, I want more of it. It has to be a perfume or cologne. I've never smelled anything like this before, and I'm getting a little obsessed with the smell. It's spicy, sweet, and harsh and smooth, and it's fresh cut grass and a huge bouquet of every flower, and a jazz club soaked in smoke and slathered in leather, and it's worn in catcher's mitt and a raspberry chocolate fudge cake. And I think of my childhood, and I think of my second grade classroom and my old backyard and how big it seemed at the time, and I can almost hear my mother's voice. It's that in a bottle. Yesterday at work I couldn't stop thinking about it. I took off early to get home and sit in my kitchen and smell it. I know it makes me sound like a weirdo. I am a weirdo. But it's like when you find a new favorite song and just want to keep playing it on repeat, sniffing the music over and over. So I put it on my nightstand next to my bed. I had trouble getting into a deep sleep. I kept hearing some noises, and they kept me awake and alert. Whooshing. It's the best I can describe them. They didn't really sound like animal calls. Maybe they were from something rustling in the woods. I'll record them next time. Sometime late into the night, I get deep enough to dream, and this morning I woke up suddenly to this. So I'm not keeping this bottle in the house anymore, but I'm not getting rid of it either, at least until I find out what it is. My plan is to put it back in the guest house and set up a camera and see what's happening. In the meantime, does anyone have any idea what could be making these holes? Can anyone identify this bottle and what's in it?